courtside Barnhill Arena. Kylie Weeks starting us off. Alabama immediately out to AG, off the hands for the first kill of the match.
That's exactly what Alabama is going to need to do. They did a really nice job handling a tough serve from Weeks. Perfect pass. Setter had all three options, and not of course, but a good choice, or at least a choice I would make going to AG on that first ball.
If you're Alabama, it's never a bad decision going out to Sophie AG. Jordan Towns, the sophomore out of Loganville, Georgia, on the service line for the Tide. Had 5 kills in that loss at Mizzou. Hogue targeting the outside, shot back. Keyshot out of the middle. Campbell overshoots the mark. Arkansas on the board.
Like that play out of the middle front going to Campbell. Looks like it just missed. We talk about, of course you don't want to make errors, but if you're going to make an error, you might as well make a good one, and that one just misses long.
Hogue on the line, the best server on the Arkansas side in system. They go back out to AG off the top, tracked down by Weeks. Madkin roll. Out to AG again, off speed, gets it to fall.
I really like that play from Madkin. She had to give the ball. She wasn't in system. She decides to give it to AG, and AG returns it with a tip, which is a favor, right? Arkansas's need to get it, going to get after those ones. You want your opposing team to tip, and she comes up with the kill out of it.
AG had a team high 11 kills, hit 250 in the 3-set loss at Missouri on Friday. Oh, back set to Thurman for the first time, and she terminates.
Arkansas is so powerful, having strong hitters on both pins. So Thurman, we know, is on the right side, can also get it done. We're going to see Hogue go to her pretty often.
Thurman, Madkin, Olivia Hui checking in as well. So Arkansas with some really talented hitters in the front row of this offense. Alabama going to the outside. That was Palmer for the first time. Hui down line, but too strong. They call a touch. So the point goes to Arkansas.
Tell Hui's going after those high hands. Does a nice job just clipping the top fingers as we take another look. And no challenge from Alabama, so Arkansas with the point.
Make no mistake, Rashinda Reed is comfortable pulling out that challenge card, as that's going to be another point for the Razorbacks early in the set. She had 3 challenges in the first set alone on Friday.
And I love that. You talk about challenges. When is the right time to challenge? Volleyball isn't a time sport, so every point is important.
Jason Watson, the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, in his 9th season, 13-2 this year. Service error gives a point back over to the Tide. Now, serves have been somewhat of a struggle for Arkansas this year. Only 69 aces coming into the match. That's 278th out of 334 in the country, as AG rotates back to the service line. 14 aces for the junior from Houston. Out of system swing, Hui, deep court. The flag is up, but there is a touch. Point Razorbacks.
Hui finding those high hands again.
Year over year on the aces. Last season, just under 2. That was best in the conference. This year, different story. Now Arkansas graduated. Jill Gillen and Taylor had transferred. Maggie Cartwright also no longer there. Under 1.25 aces per set. That's 12 out of 15. Palmer off speed. In system, Hui gets it blocked. She'll get another swing, gets the hands, but it's dug up. Kiefer middle attack. Campbell turned away. Thurman gearing up. Too strong, point Tide.
Nice job from Alabama, just letting Arkansas make the mistake. Their really nice first block. An incredible dig by Jackson, who I think we don't talk about enough, keeping the play alive, but the play ultimately going to Alabama.
Head coach Rashinda Reed in her 3rd season. Her team comes in 9-6 overall. Hui dug up by Bertucci. To the outside, gets the hands. Another fantastic spear from Jackson. Pops it over. Palmer cross, good up from Hogue. Overpass, turn back, point Hogs.
Talk about Hogue being a fantastic setter. She's a fantastic digger as well. Probably not exactly what you wanted with the overpass, but sometimes you're just looking to get it up. And nice heads-up play to have the double block from Hui and Pettis up there to defend that overpass.
And make no mistake, Hannah Hogue averages just under 4 digs per set. Alabama in system. They'll go to Palmer, another block. Tipped over, heads up play in the middle by Towns.
So a lot of quick back and forth there. See some really good blocks on both sides of the net.
This has been a faster paced first set. Caitlin, in the long run, who is that style going to favor?
I think Arkansas. Arkansas is a smaller team, so they're going to want to play as fast as possible to try to get the blockers up and late. Or not up, down and late.
Repetti. Arkansas goes to the outside. Hui seeing a lot of action early on. The block out of bounds, point Arkansas.
Hui having a really nice start. 3 kills already, no errors. Look like a couple of them were going to be errors and out, but she's using the block to her advantage. You can see she's going after that outside hand that isn't quite angled all the way in. I'm sure they'll be talking about that. Just that slight little angle makes a big difference between a stuff block and a kill. That
was Paris Thompson, the transfer from Notre Dame, getting the kill as Alabama able to side out.
Alabama doing a nice job limiting any runs from Arkansas. You know, if they lose the point, they're right back in it with a first ball kill.
Part of that annoying moniker that Coach Reed wants her team to have. Thompson. Arkansas pushes back to the outside. Madkin block out of bounds, showing off the power there.
See a lot of high hands for Arkansas, so the hitters are hitting the high hands of Alabama's block. You can see the Alabama bench kind of yelling to go. There's enough time to go after those ones in enough space. That's not always the case, as some gyms are a little bit tighter, but nice swing from Madkin to get the kill.
There is some real estate along the stanchions here inside Barnhill Arena, the former basketball gym of the Arkansas men's basketball team back in the 90s. Keshok setter dump. How about the vision from Keshok there?
Yes, that senior setter knowing when to get it done. Maybe talk about it a little bit more later, but running that very unique 5-2 offense. So that is one of the advantages. You have a setter in the front row for half of the time.
Keshok, another one of the 4 transferred, started her career at Samford. Service error gives the point right back to the Razorbacks.
Seen quite a few service errors so far in this match, already 4, and it's only 7-9 in this first set.
Arkansas had committed 122 service errors coming into the match, 159 for the Tide. Hogue back on the line. Track down from Keshok, middle attack, overpass coming. Out to the outside, Agee, access denied. Thurman was right there with Evans.
Really nice job on the outside pin, getting it done. Thurman with the handwork. We know more times than not the ball is going to be going to Agee. I'm sure we talked about it a ton in the game plan, but she does a nice job of executing that game plan.
That was a clean block solo, but that time Campbell wins the battle.
Campbell getting a couple of looks early on. Talk a lot about in volleyball trying to establish the middle early because it opens up those pins, especially when you have a player that's more dominant on the outside pin like Agee.
Coach Reed could not say enough good things about her graduate middle, Chase Campbell. Love the way that she's grown into a leadership role, has really come on and taken ownership in the middle of this Alabama offense this season. Kiefer. Tracked down by Jackson. Free ball coming. In system, back out to Agee. Too strong, point Razorbacks.
Looks like Agee's looking for the touch on the block.
And a lot of body language coming off of Sophie Agee as she was imploring Coach Reed to use that challenge card. But that has to speak something as well when your coach, you know she'll pick it up but doesn't in that scenario.
Right, we could be pretty for certain that she did not see anything.
Oh, back out to Hui. Rolled it. Agee gearing up, overshoots the mark, was going for the hands again.
Yeah, back-to-back errors from Agee, not something that we see super often, and it looks like Alabama's going to want to talk about it.
A couple of hitting errors committed by the Tide. Arkansas on top early on by 4.
I'm Jordan Heidema, and soccer is just one part of my story. Jordan outside of soccer is a little bit different than Jordan in soccer. I have moments where I can be silly, I have moments where I can be serious, and you definitely get a sneak peek into who I am with what I wear. Off field, I mean, like street style, baggy stuff. I don't think there's like a gender in clothes. Whatever you feel confident in, go rock it. TJ Maxx. Maxx what makes you, you.
So Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check your spelling first before taking off your shirts.
Stu, Virginia.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Hey, what's up? I'm the W.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back inside Barnhill Arena. This is the 59th all-time meeting between these SEC foes. The Razorbacks with a commanding 41-17 lead. 24 of those victories have come here inside Barnhill Arena, and Arkansas has won the last 9. The last tied win coming in 2019. It's been a minute for Alabama. Pushing out to Palmer off the outside. Not getting the love off the tape as Arkansas scores out of the timeout.
Talk about Jackson and how good she is defensively, but serving as well. More on that offensive side. Does a nice job keeping Alabama out of system. We know that the ball has to go to Palmer. She's not in the best of situations and commits that error.
Another great dig from Hogue. Hui out of system, swing, smart shot deep in the court. That was a great up from Bertucci. Played over. Another attack error committed by Alabama. They are starting to pile up, and Arkansas has a 6-point lead.
You're right. Alabama hitting negative right now, but of course another fantastic dig from Hogue. She's always, number 2 or so in terms of digs, which is crazy because she's only back there half the time as a setter.
Campbell turned away by Zoe Evans, the second block solo of the match.
Evans getting it done out of middle front. We call them middle blockers for a reason, and she does a really good job embodying that role. I love her energy on the court. She's in a one-on-one situation, and she still finds a way to get it done.
Evans 6 in the conference, 1.25 blocks per set. Palmer tools the block for the kill. That's the way to get it away from Jackson, get it all the way into the scorer's table.
Of course, yeah, hitting those high hands, what we call those undiggable balls. Nobody can get it once the ball's all the way out in the stands.
Listen, you and I have caught a lot of matches inside this gym. I've certainly seen Hannah Hogue and Courtney Jackson try into the fans as AG is on the line.
They do their best. As long as you keep one foot on the court, it is all okay.
Roll deep back corner pocket. Thurman gets the kill.
Right side is such a unique position in volleyball. There always seems to be so much space in that right back zone, right? Like that's a roll shot almost, and nobody was around. But that happens so very often.
Thurman also has the benefit of being a lefty on that right side. Another one of those Reagan Rutherford starred today for Texas in their 3-set sweep of Kentucky. Overpass leads to a joust. Thompson, big swing. And the point belongs to the Tide.
Nice swing from Thompson, but really good bump set from Campbell out of middle front. I know that situation happens often. Middle blockers usually love that position to be able to take that second ball because it doesn't happen often, but she delivers a perfect set for Campbell to take it away.
Francesca Bertucci, the senior out of Chicago, Illinois, the former MAC Defensive Player of the Year at Northern Illinois. Oh, quick set out of the middle. That's Pettis for the first time. Middle, Towns. Back to Hui, off the block. Another kill. Arkansas rolling here in the first, up 7.
Hui doing a really nice job on that outside pin, using the block to her advantage. I think all 4 kills have come off of some sort of touch on the block, and that's exactly what you want to do.
Lo Jones, the serve specialist, rotating in. Redshirt freshman from Carl Junction, Missouri. Deep serve out of system, swing, pushing it towards Thompson. Arkansas in transition. Pettis had it swatted. Back out to Hui, off the block. Middle attack, Towns. One-handed snag from Jackson. Palmer tools the block, so fantastic defensive effort from Arkansas, but Alabama gets the point.
Really nice swing from Palmer on the right side. Sometimes we see her on the left pin. Looks like her primary position for this match at least will be on the right side pin, and she's doing a really nice job reading the block. So we know when AG's in the front row, a lot of balls are going to go to her, but when she's not, it's a little bit more of a 50-50, which makes it harder on the blocker to know where the ball's going to go.
Alabama just got Palmer back against Auburn. She had been missing some time due to a preseason injury. Pettis off the slide. Middle attack, Towns hammers it home.
Love that play from Towns, going across her body to that left back position as we take another look. Perfect pass, perfect set, one-on-one situation. The middle blocker is going to put it away every time.
61st kill of the season for Towns. Natalie Rapetti on the line. Arkansas in system. They'll go to Pettis. Down line kill. Wow. Watch out.
Watch out for sure. We know Pettis has really improved her slide game, especially this year. Talked about it in previous matches. It's been something that she's been focused on, and it really shows. That ball is so fast. There's almost even not enough room for Bertucci to put her hands up.
Another timeout called here from Alabama as Arkansas has opened up a 6-point lead. And for Alabama, they've played some really tight SEC matches this year. They haven't necessarily gone the way of the Tide. This one's starting to get away from them here a little bit, but this is the difference between Arkansas sitting at 3-0 in conference play and Alabama coming in at 1-3 in those sets decided by 3 points. Alabama has won 8 of 17, Arkansas 7 of 12, but you see the residual effect in terms of the match wins as well.
Totally. We know the SEC has been getting better and better. The margin for error as a result is getting smaller and smaller, and it's a little bit cliche, but it's just whoever can play better longer. All of these teams can have moments of greatness. Everybody, you know, has fantastic players on their team, but who can play better for longer?
Well, the SEC was already one of the premier conferences before you added two-time reigning national champion Texas into the mix. Of course, Texas and Kentucky, who is the number 3 pick in the preseason this year. The Wildcats had been the cream of the crop in the conference over the last 7 seasons. Those two squared off today for the first time as SEC members, with Texas taking that in a 3-set sweep. But the talent across the board in the conference is just so deep. And Coach Reed compared it to competing in the UFC. Now, I will admit I'm not a big UFC person, so I'm going to put it in terms that I understand. In honor of the great Rafa Nadal announcing his retirement earlier this week, the SEC is like playing the U.S. Open and facing prime Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafa in order, because each one has their own special style and their skill set, and it's so difficult to transfer over one match to the next, especially as Towns gets the kill when you have to turn around on these quick SEC weekends.
Right, volleyball is a little bit unique in that you play a couple matches a weekend typically. Of course, all different sports have to travel and everything else, but like you talked about, SEC has been growing, and volleyball in general has been getting so good. I think about if I went back to play now, I don't know if I would have made it, because the players are
You're
just
selling
so
yourself
good.
short. Madkin went deep cross. AG had to hold up, rolls it line. Arkansas pushes to Madkin off the block. Great get from Bertucci. Pushed over. Madkin off speed. It's a great up from Rapetti. AG gets another chance, this time gets the kill.
Some fabulous defense from Alabama. Rapetti getting that awesome up, and of course libero Bertucci as well, keeping this play alive. Look at that one-handed get, almost a perfect pass, and then of course AG putting it away ultimately.
Bertucci closing in on 1,500 career digs, came into the match just 38 away. Hogue back to Pettis, slide, roll shot in no man's land.
I like that play from Hogue, still running the slide with Pettis. It looked like the set was a little bit high, probably just a function of the ball being a couple feet off the net. Pettis recognizes it, is a little bit early, and just decides to go for the middle of the court to get the kill.
That's a great example of how Pettis has continually worked on that slide since transferring over from Mississippi State. Arkansas up 4. Alabama in system, they'll go back to Towns. AG on the attack. Block City in that front row. It was Hogan Evans.
And running that 5-2, we're seeing Keshak in the front row. She only has 2 hitters. Arkansas has a great blocking defense up right now, makes it a lot easier for Evans. She knows the ball is going to be in front of her. She's up and ready to block at any moment's notice.
Arkansas averaging just under 2.3 blocks per set. Service error gets Alabama to side out. The Tide still within striking distance. It's just a 4-point set here in the first. So just take a look at the blocking numbers. That 2.07 overall, still 11th in the conference. Alabama 14th out of 15th, 1.88. Hogue pushes out to Madkin. Reversing course, Agee off speed. How smart is Agee's offensive game?
I mean, that's a really tough tip to execute. It went right over the blocker. We know that Lo Jones is a good defender, but I mean, that tip is barely over that. I feel like it was almost going to hit Hogue in the back.
Towns back on the line. Middle attack, Evans through the block. A great effort from Brown going nearly over the scorer's table, but it's a kill for Arkansas at 21-16.
Talking to Arkansas, they mentioned how they want to get their middles involved more this season. I think they've been doing a really nice job in this set, maybe not as much as they would have liked, so I think we can expect to see more balls go to the middle from Arkansas.
Evans hasn't seen a lot of offensive opportunities, but she's terminated when she's had the chance, hitting .420 on this season as Agee goes down line. Hogue again all over it defensively. Thurman drops the teardrop in the court.
Yeah, battle of those short tips. I'd be curious to see if any adjustments are made. So both teams are playing a perimeter offense. So right back drops back to the line and defends the hard hit, but maybe we'll see some right backs come up short to defend the tip because both teams have really been successful with that.
6-point Arkansas lead. Hogue, the senior, on the line. Key shot tight to the net. Agee, great defense there from Rapetti. Hogue this time goes back to Thurman. Another off speed. Campbell went off the block. Back out, Madkin, great up. Agee steps into it. Blocked out of bounds, point tied.
Oh man, that block was straight down from Thurman, but just missing. Likely just a little bit of an adjustment with handwork would make all the difference. You can see it goes off of her right hand, which is angled just out. If she can get that right hand and angled in, it's a stuff block every time.
Already 4 blocks for Arkansas in this set. Hogue gets low. Madkin has to play it over. Middle attack. Campbell hang time. Kept alive from Hogue out of system swing. Agee reads the defense. Alabama goes to Palmer off the outside, off the hands. Thurman gets the touch. Point Hogs.
Nice high swing from Thurman. You can see the Alabama bench already celebrating. They might not have seen that touch, but really great set from Jackson. We've seen a little bit of, I don't know if it's setter-hitter connection, a little bit of something off between Hogue and Thurman, but Jackson able to deliver that nice set.
Thurman will get another chance. Another touch gives Arkansas a set point.
Great set from Hogue there. You can tell that maybe they've talked about it a little bit, and Thurman's able to put away that nice set.
And Courtney Jackson on the line for Arkansas, the senior from Olathe, Kansas. Alabama in system, out to Palmer, overshoots the mark. And the story of the first set is attack errors committed by Alabama. The 10th gifts the set to the Hogs, 25-17, Arkansas in control after 1.
I'm Jordan Heidema, and soccer is just one part of my story. Jordan outside of soccer is a little bit different than Jordan in soccer. I have moments where I can be silly, I have moments where I can be serious, and you definitely get a sneak peek into who I am with what I wear. Off field, I mean, like street style, baggy stuff. I don't think there's like a gender in clothes. Whatever you feel confident in, go rock it. TJ Maxx. Maxx what makes you, you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
You drive in today?
Of course not. There's no parking.
Like you know to check the sign first, before parking.
Yeah. You hear it? I hear it.
I feel like I do hear it.
Oh. Oh, man.
Why didn't you read the sign?
You think you can pay a parking ticket in heirloom tomatoes?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Anarchy has been reigning across college volleyball this season. Only one undefeated team remains. That is South Dakota State after SMU The Giant Killers took down top-ranked Pitt on Saturday. Don't forget, the Mustangs also defeated Nebraska 3-0 earlier this year. Nebraska turns around. They down Purdue. That's their 12th consecutive victory for the Cornhuskers. And this is a year as Utah tops both number 17 TCU and number 18 Baylor for their first back-to-back top 25 wins since 2019. It seems this year, Caitlin, that anyone can beat anyone. We saw your alma mater as well earlier, Miami this year, knocking off Texas. Well, guess what? Texas swept Kentucky in straights today, 25-21, 25-19, and 25-17. The Longhorns hitting just under 300.
Yeah, and we know Rutherford transferring from Kentucky's got to feel extra good for her. But, you know, it's really hard to keep all of these straight because there's, like you already mentioned, there's so much parity across these teams. I think a lot of that can be attributed to the transfer portal and how much easier it is for players to move around, but it makes for some really fun and exciting volleyball. You know, it gets boring when the same team wins over and over again.
Only 12 teams have won NCAA volleyball titles in the entirety of the sport's history. Kentucky's still the only SEC team to win. That was back in 2020 in that modified spring season. Now it could be that Texas becomes the second SEC team as they are back-to-back defending national titles, or national champions rather. Only time will tell. The Longhorns will be mixing things up with the Razorbacks here shortly as we are underway here in the second set. Madkin gets the first swing and gets the first kill.
That is a textbook Arkansas play. Really fantastic set from Hogue, keeping the pace to the outside pin. She was about 12 feet or so off the net, but still keeping that fast, typically called a go set. So doesn't have much of a peak, but it gets all the way out to that outside antenna.
Hogue can put a set on a dime as Agee gets a good swing. Jackson a better dig. How did she get it? Madkin. Agee. Skies. Weeks got it. Agee's been robbed of back-to-back kills. Third time for Agee. This time it's Hogue. No room to work in the back row. Thurman. Agee tools the block, finally finds some space for the kill.
That's what makes Agee a good player on the outside. You have to know as an outside hitter, you're going to get dug, right? A good outside hitting percentage is about 250. So, right, that's only 1 out of 4 is going to be a kill. And she got 1 out of, I think, 3 attempts there after 3 fantastic attempts. But some good defense from Arkansas. We know that they're not going to go away.
Madkin tools the block as Arkansas gets back on serve. Another note on Agee, already 6 kills in this match. That puts her over the career 500 mark. Has posted back-to-back 200 kill seasons. She had 250 last year as Jackson rolls it off the tape. Campbell, little hang time, dropped it in. That's an athletic play that she made look easy.
She really does. She's having a nice afternoon so far. That play is really tough to defend because the right front blocker is coming in to help on the block, leaving a lot of empty space for Hogue to handle.
2-all in the first. Kayla Keyshock was serving. Over pass, easy put away for Campbell as Alabama takes the lead.
Talked about in the open, what does Alabama need to do to beat Arkansas? They need to do exactly that. They need to serve aggressive. Hui with the overpass there makes for an easy kill for Alabama.
The errors still heavily in favor as that's an ace. That'll certainly help.
Totally can tell that Alabama is going after whomever the front row outside hitter is. So Hui is pulling back to pass. We know that she doesn't pass a whole lot in game situations. It's typically only in this rotation and in the next. So as much as possible, you want to go after those players.
Went near the same spot. Hogue in system. Hui tipped. Falls in for the kill.
Until Hui and Hogue, which is really fun to say, having a little bit of
do it 5 times fast.
I was never good at that, so you don't want to hear that. But having a little bit of conversation about that one. Hui didn't end up having to pass, but like you said, that ball was still in the same general direction. So Hui has to kind of wait a little bit longer, as maybe a little bit late to the ball.
Palmer took a rip down line. Thurman off speed. Palmer tipped it. Jackson was there. Hui blocked out of bounds. It's 4-all.
Hui leading Arkansas with 5, or rather 6 kills with that one. already, doing a nice job using the block to her advantage. I think all of her kills have come off the block in some way, shape, or form. We know all players at this level could hit at the 10-foot line. It's what you can do with the block in front of you.
Out of system swing coming for Thurman off the block. Alabama goes back to AG, tools the block, gets the kill. AG saying, you know what, I can do it too.
She really can. And what a nice job she does using the block to her advantage as well. Thurman was up, but it looked like her arms were a little bit outstretched to her right. AG takes full advantage of that.
Arkansas head coach Jason Watson, very complimentary of Sophie Agee, said she can score in such a variety of ways. It's the sign as Thurman able to terminate, said it's a sign of a really talented offensive player when talking about Agee.
Thurman getting her 6th kill of the night so far as she returns back to the back row. Expect to see Thurman kind of turn it up a little bit more. She's seemed to be out of system for the first half of this match so far.
Thurman came into today leading with 205 kills on the season. Tight pass to the net, overpass in fact. Thompson. Hogue pushes out to Hui. Didn't use the block that time.
That one for sure, I can confidently say she did not. What a big swing.
I can confidently say that.
Yes, totally. What a nice swing in system. So block was a little bit late. There's a big hole in the block, and she takes full advantage.
Thurman back to serve. The sophomore from Little Rock, transfer from North Carolina. Middle attack, Campbell. Jackson can't bring it in. 6-all.
Keyshock doing a really nice job setting from the front row, or actually she's in the back row, pardon me. Looks like they switched up their offense a little bit, running that 5-1 offense. So she is setting from all positions, doing a really nice job running this offense.
It's Bertucci serving. Arkansas pushes it back out to Hui. Hogue targets Pettis this time off speed. Keyshock to Palmer, sent away. Olivia Hui doing it all right now.
Fantastic eye work from Hui. I was not expecting that ball to go to the right pin hitter, but Hui was all over it, delivering that stuff block.
It's just the second block solo of the season for Olivia Hui. Arkansas now up 7-6, make it 7-all off the service error.
With Jackson coming in, you can see Arkansas does something a little bit unique in that the liberos go in for the outside hitters and then the DSs go in for the middle backs. Typically the libero is going in for the middle back position, but with that puts Jackson in the middle of the court and more serve receive options. And of course, most of the balls go to the middle of the court, so you want to have your best player in the middle of the court as much as possible.
Thompson had it stuffed. Free ball. Arkansas goes to Madkin, another roll. Push back out to Thompson. Madkin steps into it. Towns was there and waiting.
What a fantastic block from Towns. Good set from Hogue. When you're out of system, you want to set the ball high and off the net and inside as well. That ball's about 5 or so feet in. Those balls are always so tempting as an outside hitter. Madkin wanting to hit it straight down, but like kind of already talked about, everyone can hit it straight down, and those are the easiest ones to block. You got to use those high hands.
21st block of the year for Jordan Towns. Madkin's going to have to play it over. Alabama in transition. They go to Towns. Avery Callum giving chase. She'll keep it alive. Tide targeting Towns again. This time puts it away. Alabama with the 2-point lead.
Towns with already 4 kills and no errors. I mean, at this level, if you're receiving a free ball, you're expected to put it away, and she does just that, doing a nice job going across her body, recognizing that she has 2 blockers up, but nobody in front of that left shoulder.
Tough serve, overpass, put away by Keyshock, and all of a sudden, Alabama up 10-7. What's been different about the Tide in this set, Caitlin?
Tide's really been putting pressure on Arkansas I think from behind the service line. They've been doing a really nice job, obviously, in that last play, forcing the overpass. There's no easier kill than that one. But even when they're not getting those overpasses, Arkansas is out of system. It's easy to know where the ball is going to go, and that just makes the whole game a whole lot easier when you know where the ball's going.
Thompson off the block. Alabama up 11-7. And Jason Watson wants a timeout. He has seen Alabama go on a 4-0 scoring run. The Tide on top of the Hogs in the second.
Being a football player with plaque psoriasis is challenging. The football locker room is always a place where people are going to see your skin and you can't hide it forever. I'm Dallas Goddard, professional tight end, and this is my story. I felt embarrassed by my plaques, and I was covering up on and off the field. For years, I've treated my plaque psoriasis with topicals, but the hardest part for me was applying them every day, applying them to spots that are hard to reach, and it's something that you just have to be so consistent with to see visible changes. So recently, I talked to a new doctor about a medication, Otezla. It's a pill form and works from the inside out. Looking back at it, I probably could have told my doctor my struggles earlier.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Welcome back inside Barnhill Arena. Alabama on top of Arkansas. These two teams know each other very well from their time in the SEC, but as Lexi Cox tells us, we got a couple of players that know each other really well too.
Yeah, now on opposing sides of the net, Sophie Agee and Sanaya Pettis were former teammates at Mississippi State. However, competition is not new between these two, both playing high school volleyball in Houston. The two have faced each other before. Before the game, I was able to ask Sanaya about how it feels to play against Sophie tonight. She said that she's beyond excited, saying every moment they're on the court together, she'll be smiling big at her friend and former teammate, which we've been able to see here in these first two sets.
Attack error committed by Arkansas, so another point for Alabama. I'm sure whoever comes away with the win, though, is going to have a little bit of a bigger smile at the end of the day.
I think you're right.
A lot to smile about for Alabama right now as they have opened up a 5-point advantage here in the second set. Playing much cleaner, hitting 400 in the set. Out of system swing, Madkin pushes it. Thompson gearing up. Great up from Callum. Madkin gets another chance. Great dig from Thompson. Free ball. Arkansas in transition. Back to Pettis. Able to side out.
Arkansas trying to find a way to get out of this rotation that Alabama's really been taking advantage of. Not necessarily a weak rotation for Arkansas, but a tougher one in that Hogue is in the front row. She only has 2 front row options available. I'd like to see maybe Thurman in that right back position become another option. We know last year with both outside hitters, Gillen and Head, being available in the back row just creates another option, especially when the ball is off the net.
Paris Thompson is always an option for Alabama as she puts that one down with emphasis.
Big difference between this second set and the first one. Alabama hitting 409 right now, and for the match they're only hitting about 183. So if, doing some quick math, you can tell that they were only hitting about 100 or so in that first set.
I'll let you do the math. Not my strong suit as Towns goes off the slide, and all Arkansas can do is watch it fall. This is all Alabama here in the second.
And Alabama doing a nice job forcing not the best first contact from Arkansas, which has resulted in not the best third contact in a hit. So, of course, much easier to dig those ones. They're perfectly in system and able to run whatever offense they want.
Thompson, ace! Alabama has silenced the crowd here in Barnhill.
You are definitely right. Alabama still following their game plan. It looks like going after whoever the front row outside hitter is. We can see an adjustment for Arkansas. They only have 2 passers back there, so both the DS and libero have to take up 50% of the court.
Weeks handles the serve, goes back out to Madkin in system. She puts it away.
And it worked in their favor. Really nice pass from Kylie Weeks, giving Hogue all 3 options. Decides to go to Madkin to put it away. It's not the easiest thing in the world, passing with only 2 players. You think about sand volleyball, but the court indoor is much bigger than it is on the beach.
Alabama sends it to AG, dug up once again from Hogue. Out of system swing, Thurman has a tip back. Only option is Madkin. Great dig, overpass, put away by Evans.
Nice work from Evans. That was, talk about how easy it is to hit the overpass, but that one was kind of a couple feet behind her, and she's still able to put it away.
Second kill for Zoe Evans to go along with 3 blocks already. Alabama in system, Towns off the slide. Another kill for Jordan Towns. What is allowing her to be so effective on that slide attack?
I think it's Keyshock. She's doing a fantastic job setting. You can see that Evans jumped with her on that second ball, putting her in a one-on-one situation, and she's been having such a nice night that she's going to be able to put it away every time. Already 7 kills and no errors so far.
How about an ace to add to that stat line?
Really getting it done. Arkansas has to recognize if they can, get this first ball pass. She's a middle blocker. She's playing that right back position. How can they get the ball to that right back position? Because, typically middle blockers aren't used to playing in the back row as much.
Towns service error gives a point back to the Razorbacks. But Towns has had a couple of great games coming into today. She's hit 500 in back-to-back matches, 10 kills. Tied her career high against Georgia, then 5 no errors against Mizzou. Alabama middle, Campbell, good up from Jackson. Arkansas has to play the free ball. Keyshock, setter dump, finds a wide open spot.
Again, another advantage to running that 5-1. Your setter is in the front row for half the time. Now she's rotating back to the back row to serve. But that's a perfect situation. On the free ball, nobody's really expecting it. There is nobody up, and she really makes it look easy.
So Alabama transitioning into the 5-1 system here in the second set. They typically run a 5-2 with Keyshock and Kiefer. Back to Thurman. That's a thunderous kill. Side out Hogs.
That is certainly one way to get it started for Arkansas to get the momentum a little bit in your favor. Good news for Arkansas is Thurman is staying in the front row. She's not rotating out quite yet, and that is so important, having good players on both sides of the pins to keep the middle blockers guessing on the other side.
Pushed wide from AG, back-to-back points for Arkansas. The Hogs haven't really been able to string together many point runs here in the second set.
Yeah, you're right. They get the serve back and only 1 or 2 points. It looks, obviously, they're going to need to string together a couple of those runs here if they want to be in the second set.
Long pass over to Palmer. Got the touch as Palmer racks up another kill.
Nice, a big swing. We see Johnson going after that ball, assuming it hit the blocker's hands because it looked like it was sailing quite a bit out.
Arkansas in system to Thurman, splits the defense. Another kill for Romani Thurman.
Thurman leading the Razorbacks so far as she rotates out, unfortunately for the Razorbacks. 8 kills, only 1 error so far, hitting almost 500. And that's not 500, with just 1 or 2 swings. She, like I said, is leading the Razorbacks with 8 kills.
8 kills on 15 attempts. Thurman has led Arkansas in kills in 14 matches this season. Tight to the net, miscommunication, saved by Bertucci. Pettis rolled over. Palmer with authority.
Nice swing from Palmer in an out-of-system situation, able to put it done. But what a fantastic up by Bertucci. There was a little bit of miscommunication between setter and hitter there. Campbell was running in front, but setter Keyshock goes behind, but she was able to save the day and keep them in there.
Already 14 digs on the day for Bertucci. Out of system, Arkansas goes to Huey, nothing doing. It's Towns again.
Some big blocks, nice adjustment. You see that's a really long set. It dies just a little bit short, which is what you can expect when the set is out of system. Huey's got to go after those high hands, which is something she's really good with. It just so tempting when the ball is high and inside to hit low and inside, but again, those are just the easiest ones to block.
Adjustment by Huey, but Towns into the net there, point Razorbacks. Had the right idea, though. That space was open.
It was. It had just a little bit too much lift and carry to it.
Just the third attack error in the set committed by Alabama. They still lead by 6, up 21-15 as Hui is back on the service line. Out of system, Thompson plays it. Hogue goes to Madkin. Block out of bounds, point Razorbacks.
Like that play from Hogue to Madkin on the outside, running that fastball to the pin. I thought she was going to go behind to Pettis, so credit to Hogue for keeping it, her sets look the same every single time. You never know where she's going to go.
Keyshot tight to the net. Towns skies for the kill.
Alan Keyshot keeping it on her side. Big advantage to having a tall hitter tall setter rather, able to keep it on her side to let her hitters do the work.
Keyshot is averaging just under 7 assists per set for her career. Transferred from Samford. She was second in the SoCon in assists per set in 2021. Hogue going back out to Madkin. Off the top of the block, gets another kill.
I'm sure Arkansas is wanting to see Madkin get a little bit more fired up. She's having a good afternoon so far, already 6 kills. But how can she get the ball more often and execute a little bit more efficiently?
How can Madkin get the ball a little bit more?
I think, it's all about that first ball. You don't want to set her because you have to, but you want to set her because you get to, and that situation we saw right there from Jackson. She had to set her, but it just makes it really difficult when everyone knows that the ball's going to her. She'll have those 2 blockers up, and you don't want that.
Keyshot wanted to set Towns there, and Towns emphatic over to Rashinda Reed that she was able to get the touch on the slide. We will have our first challenge of the match. The call on the court was that the ball was out.
The ruling on the court is point Arkansas. Alabama is challenging that there was a touch.
All right, Caitlin, putting you on the spot. Was there anything that you saw in real time?
Oh, man, there was not. But hopefully we get another chance to take a look. These ones are always so tough. Seeing, any finger movement, any ball misdirection.
This will be one of the quickest reviews, maybe in sports history. We'll take another look.
And as we know, it has to be definitive or very obvious, right, in order to overturn. Good thing I'm not a referee, because I like to judge it more just based on the players' reactions and their poker faces.
Yeah, but you gotta sell it, right?
Yeah.
If you think you got it.
Right, we're not actors and actresses out here, so I think you can learn a lot from that point of view.
Our R2, Gigi Frito, went over to look at the screen, then went back over to what looked like the scorer, stepped away, but we still have not had an official ruling. We take another look.
After the review, the call is confirmed. There was no touch. Alabama will lose their challenge.
So the call on the court is confirmed, not just upheld in that varying language. That does mean that it was the correct call. So Alabama will lose the challenge. They now have 1 left for the match. Coach Reed will get another should this go to 5 sets. But with the call, Arkansas trailing by 4, 22-18. Kylie Weeks on the line. Keyshot going to Thompson in the front, speared by Jackson. Madkin plays it. Tied, setter dump, read perfectly. Madkin runs into it. Kept alive by Bertucci. Hogs go to Madkin. Blocked out of bounds, Arkansas within 3.
Really nice defense from Arkansas. A couple of big digs from Jones, and of course Jackson as well. Like this set from Hogue to deliver it to Madkin to get that high hit off the hands.
3-0 run for the Razorbacks. Thompson, tipped, dug up from Madkin. Tied in system, they'll go to Thompson. Good stuff, better defense. Hogue pushes to Madkin, off the top of the block, Anaya Madkin. Back-to-back kills to get Arkansas back within 2, and Rashinder Weed wants a timeout.
A perfect play from Arkansas, perfect from their point of view of exactly what they need to do and what they're known for. Great set from Hogue, keeping the pace. We talk about, sets in and out of the hitting window. That set could not be more in the hitting window for Madkin to start getting going, right? That is her 8th kill so far. I feel like not too long ago she only had a handful of kills, but now she's really been stepping it up to make this second set a whole lot closer.
You took the words right out of my mouth because I was going to say Madkin must have heard you. She had 4 kills midway through this set, already up to 8, as she has gone on a scoring run of her own, helping Arkansas get back within 2 here in this second set. Alabama has led the majority of the way, but Caitlin, this is where the Tide struggled in their match on Friday against Missouri. They were leading late in the first set, could not hold on. Jordan Iliff ran off a couple of aces. The Tigers came back to take that first set. And so this is where the finishing for Alabama comes into play. How do they finish here?
Yeah, of course, a big point of emphasis finishing for Alabama. You're just thinking one play at a time. They need to get that ball back and put their fate in their own hands with the serving. They need to get out of serve receive as quickly as possible because they've been having some really nice servers behind the line.
Those numbers again, Alabama 8 and 17 in sets decided by 3 points or less. They have only won 3 of those matches. The first set was decided by 8. It was 25-17 in favor of the Razorbacks. Alabama led in this set by 8. They're up 21-14 since then. Arkansas has gone on a 6-1 run. It's Weeks. Alabama goes back to Towns. Access denied. 22-21.
Wow, what a fantastic block from Evans, reading her middle blocker, understanding she's going behind. Towns having a fantastic afternoon with 8 kills. That's only her second error so far. Really nice job from Evans executing the game plan.
Right back to Towns. Same result. It's 22-all. We are level here inside Barnhill.
Evans, I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know if everyone understands how difficult it is as a middle blocker. The last time I played middle blocker, I was 12 years old, and I never wanted to do it ever again because it is just so hard. That's why they're only in half of the time typically. Of course, they're a little bit taller, so they don't really play in the back row, but to know where the ball is going, you have to be watching that setter, and we know that Keshok is a fantastic setter. I never know where the ball is going, but Evans is figuring it out and knowing where she's going at any point in time.
No offense to the girls that you played against when you were 12. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that none of them are also as tall as 6'6" Jordan Towns.
Exactly, so that makes it even more difficult, but wow, really fantastic job from Evans and the rest of Arkansas, and also Weeks as well behind the service line, right, keeping the Arkansas Razorbacks in it.
Arkansas in the midst of a 6-0 scoring run, they have stormed back to tie the second stanza here at 22. 7 blocks on the match for the Razorbacks, 3 coming in this set, 2 of those courtesy of Zoe Evans on the last 2 points.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. Arkansas maybe not necessarily known for their blocking, right? 11th in the SEC in blocks per set, but I would expect after this weekend that they're going to rise up at least a little bit because they're having a stellar performance this afternoon.
Arkansas, that number is higher in terms of blocks per set in conference play, 2.29. And Alabama has been outblocked in 3 of their 4 SEC matches this year. As Barnhill is buzzing as we are back to play. Kylie Weeks still on the service line as Arkansas in the midst of a run. Keshok targeting Thompson. Popped up, jousting. Out to Madkin, finessed over. Back out to Thompson. Flag goes up as Arkansas retakes the lead.
Nice right by Arkansas, just letting the ball go. And we saw a little bit of that adjustment I was talking about. Rapetti up to take that tip from Madkin. Curious to see if she'll make an adjustment, staying away from that short tip.
Thompson was dug up by Jackson Madkin. Set point Arkansas. Who else? Anaya Madkin.
You see that adjustment, so no longer going after that short tip, but instead going after those high hands to get her 8th kill. And like you said, at one point in time, she only had about 4 or so midway through this set, so she's had 5 kills in the last couple of points.
Towns. Second burst, same as the first. Set number 2 ends with an attack error as Arkansas overcomes a 7-point deficit. They take set number 2 at 25-22.
Fantastic work by the Razorbacks, getting it done. 8-0 scoring run to end that set. Great job by Kylie Weeks.
Jordan outside of soccer is a little bit different than Jordan in soccer. You definitely get a sneak peek into who I am with what I wear. Whatever you feel confident in, go rock it. TJ Maxx. Maxx what makes you, you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Okay, let's get going. Can everybody see that?
Like, you know, to check your desktop first before sharing your screen.
Ah, that is not the, oh, no. Know how that got in there? No, that,
Yeah, checking first is smart.
Okay, everybody get out.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When greatness calls, you answer. Don't give up. Level up. Design your dreams. Polo 67, the iconic fragrances. Ralph Lauren.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
Arkansas ended the second set on a 9-0 scoring run. They stormed back to take it 25-22 in a 2-set-to-none lead here inside Barnhill Arena on this Sunday of SEC volleyball play. Alabama seeking their first win against Arkansas since 2019. Meanwhile, the Hogs looking to make it 10 in a row against the Crimson Tide. And the Tide has not been in the favor of Alabama over these last 9 matches. 4 of those have been 3-set sweeps in favor of the Razorbacks. Only 1 match has gone to 5. That was all the way back in 2018.
Yeah, and for a while there, I feel like we all thought that this match would at least go to 4. At one point in time, Alabama was leading 21-14, and like you talked about, a 9-0 service run by Kylie Weeks, who is now behind the service line, got Arkansas all the way back in it to win that second set.
Weeks will serve first to start the third. Alabama goes back out to AG. Down line, misses the mark. Arkansas on the board first.
AG's had some really nice swings, but a couple of them feel like they're just long or they're just wide. That one is just long down the line.
Uncharacteristic day for Sophie Agee. There is still time, but she had been averaging 16.75 kills per set in conference play. Just 7 so far this afternoon as Madkin continues to stay red hot. That's her 9th match this year with double-digit kills.
Can tell that, I mean, that connection between Hogue and Madkin is really something else. I feel like right when that ball came off of Hogue's hands, you can tell Madkin is on her second step, which is that offense, that really fast offense that Arkansas runs, and is able to deliver a perfect kill.
Service error there, but what is it that makes a good setter-hitter connection? Because you had to have one when you were a setter at Miami.
Right, I think it's a lot of time, and we know that they necessarily haven't had the most time in the world, right? Madkin's a redshirt freshman, so she was here last year, but it's as many reps as possible, and it's not just quantity, but quality as well.
AG runs into the brick wall named Zoe Evans. Another block working in tandem there with Hogue.
Nice work from Evans as usual, blocking wise, but you know what makes it a little bit easier is a great serve from Hogue to be able to keep them out of system.
Zoe Evans, third in the conference in blocks per set in SEC games. She's averaging just under 1.6 blocks per set through the first 3 SEC contests. That number sure to go up so far with her performance here this afternoon. Key shot going back to Agee. Another one-handed snag from Jackson. That must be 3 or 4 as Campbell finds some open court for the kill.
Nice work by Campbell, getting her 5th kill of the afternoon so far.
Campbell hitting .231 on the afternoon, 5 kills, 13 attempts for the graduate senior. Service error, that's already a pair here for Alabama in the first 6 points. I mean, Caitlin, we talked about the end of that second set demoralizing for Alabama. They had a 7-point lead. They couldn't close it out. As a player, how do you put that behind you ahead of the third?
You know, each set is something new. Obviously, those points don't carry over, and now we have that break in between sets 2 and 3, so I think time helps, right? And, you know, looking at this score, we're starting all over again.
Thurman off the block. Back out to Agee on the outside, down line. Out of system swing for Thurman, cuts it. Keyshot to Agee, kill for Sophie Agee.
Nice big swing from Agee going deep. We saw Thurman with that cut shot. I'd like to see her go a little bit deeper. We talked about it earlier. You know, she's a lefty on the right side. How can she find that deep right back so Agee's not able to do what she just did there, which is get a big kill?
Oh, goes to Evans out of the middle, gets a little taste of her own medicine. We are level at 4.
Yeah, nice block from Alabama there. We know that Evans doesn't get the ball a ton, so nice job by Campbell staying with her primary hitter, which is the opposing team's middle blocker, to still be a presence there.
Service error, as Arkansas has gotten 3 free points already. You mentioned Chase Campbell came into this match just 3 blocks away from career number 300. That last one was only her first of the afternoon. Arkansas up 1 here in the third, leading 2 sets to 1. Overpass. Those are the type of things you can laugh about with a 2-set lead. But that was a missed opportunity for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I don't know if Coach Watson is laughing as much.
Nope.
But really tough situation. I mean, that's maybe one of the very few downsides of having a lefty right side, because the ball is in both of their hitting windows at the same time.
Thurman able to tool the block there. And Romani Thurman has been no laughing matter for this Alabama defense.
Certainly not. Already 9 kills with 1 error, hitting .444.
Thurman now on the line. Keyshot bump set out to Thompson. 2 strong point Razorbacks. And those attack errors have been a thorn in the Tide's heel. That is the 21st of the match compared to just 4 for the Razorbacks.
Talking about clean volleyball and how Arkansas wants to make that their identity, not necessarily, I mean, obviously you want to make as few as errors as possible. Maybe not something that Alabama wants to be known for, but I'm sure they want to clean up a couple of those errors.
Hui out of system, swing just long, and there is an attack error committed by the Razorbacks. But Jason Watson talked about that being their brand of volleyball. He said, you know, we were outscored if you look at the total number of kills and the hitting percentage against Oklahoma, but it took them more swings to get there. We don't get as many kills, but we get there faster.
Right, and that's not only with hitting, that you can score points in other ways. You know, Arkansas likes to be known for their serving and defense as well.
Overpass, this time Pettis plays it up. They go to Hui, down line, buried it in the back of the court.
Nice big swing from Hui. I feel like she's been a little bit quiet in that second set, but I think it was just a function of Kylie Weeks being behind the service line and she wasn't in. And Madkin was doing a really nice job on the outside pin when she was in that front row position, but nice work from Hui getting it done.
Keyshot, another bump set to Thompson. Madkin steps into it. 11 kills for Anaya Madkin.
Feels like everything that she's touching is gold right now. Earlier in the first set, struggling a little bit when the ball was out of system, not really delivering any errors, but now it looks like every ball is in system, so it really speaks to how well she's doing getting her feet to the ball. And you know you're a good player when you make any type of set look good.
Service error from Hui. Madkin has led Arkansas in 5 straight matches in total kills, coming off of that 25-kill performance at Oklahoma, second only to her 27 kills against Georgia to start conference play. Reigning SEC Freshman of the Week is Madkin. Thompson, the transfer from Notre Dame. Key shot going back out to Agee. Arkansas in system. Pettis slide pays dividend. Arkansas the first to 10.
You know, even if you know that that ball is going behind to Pettis, they run it so quick. There's really not much you can do about it, right? You can't even get to where you're supposed to be in time. Even knowing that the ball is going behind it, it is so fast. There is no peek, and she just hits it right off of that blocker's hands.
4 kills for Pettis. No attack errors. 364 for the senior. Weeks, tough serve. Good job by Rapetti. Agee had it slowed down. Hogue back out to Madkin. Popped back up. She'll get another chance. Can't connect. Point tied.
Big swing from Madkin, just a little bit too wide. Like to see her go after more deep, because if that ball is a little bit more towards the middle of the court, that ball's in every time.
It puts Jordan Towns on the service line. Towns has put together a stellar game, 8 kills, 2 blocks, an ace, and a dig. Back out to Madkin. Keep racking them up. That is 12 as Arkansas leads by 3.
Really shows faith in your hitters, right? As a setter going back to Madkin, she just committed that error, but knowing that she's going to get it done on the next one, and she does.
Hogue out of Fort Smith. Little miscommunication there from the Tide. Keyshak plays the free ball. Out of system swing for Madkin. And again, trying to cut it, misses the mark. So a couple of attack errors creeping in for Anaya Madkin as well.
Yeah, it's a tough out-of-system play. Really fantastic set from Jackson, the back set. But she's still about, 8 or 9 feet off the net. Again, those are the ones you go after that deep corner. It looks like Madkin's trying to go just a little bit too sharp.
Hogue goes right back to her. This time, Madkin gets it. Make it a Baker's dozen.
Fantastic. Again, that situation, Madkin made the error, but Hogue goes right back to her. You can tell the blockers were not ready for it as we take another look. Both were late, so it puts her in a fantastic position to get it done.
Another double-double for Hannah Hogue. That's 12 this season as Agee had it turned away. Tight to the net, had to push it. Couldn't thread the needle. Arkansas with the 4-point lead.
So smart. Evans and and Thurman were up. Agee, it looked like she was going to try to use the blocker's hands, but they dropped them at the last second.
Jackson to serve. Key shot goes back to Campbell in the middle, who gets the kill. It's been a quiet afternoon for Chase Campbell.
As Alabama, I'm sure, wanting to get their middle blockers involved a little bit more, especially, we know they're the most efficient players on the court, but it all starts with that first pass.
And Campbell came in hitting .329. Agee from the service line gets the Tide within 2.
Really nice serve from Agee. She's going after what is typically called seam 3, so the space in between middle back and left back.
And that has been a pain point for the Hogs as Thurman has it blocked out of bounds. Pushes it back out to a 3-point lead.
Thurman keeping it steady already. 9 kills, just 1 error, hitting .444 for the night.
Callum back on the line. Alabama goes back to Palmer. Great up. Hui blocked. Hui will have to play it over. Alabama in transition. Palmer, an attack error on the way down, gets Arkansas 2:15, the Hogs opening up a 4-point lead here in the third.
You can tell that Coach Watson took a really deep breath on that last play, but what a fantastic dig out of middle back for Arkansas to take that lead. Powerful right side hitter, like we've already talked about. It opens up everything else, and just been so impressed with Thurman's play so far. And I mean, the numbers really show already 10 kills, or we can see hitting almost 500. That's like middle blocker or setter hitter percentage when they get a dump every now and then, but she's getting a lot of attempts as well. 18 attempts so far this match.
Long rally, Campbell had it slowed down. Arkansas goes back to Thurman, played up. Thompson runs under it. Jackson there to dig it out. Hui off the block. Bertucci for Thompson. Hui will get another chance. Bertucci was there again. Palmer, attack error, point Razorbacks.
Saw some fantastic defense on both sides of the net, but just a couple of errors on the Alabama side, just missing when earlier in set 2 they were getting those big swings.
Callum. Out of system swing, Thompson had to roll it, pancake from Hogue. Thurman, another kill for Romani Thurman, that's 11. And make no mistake, the conversation a lot this week has been about Anaya Madkin and what she's been able to do, but Romani Thurman, as we take another look at the pancake coming from Hannah Hogue that kept this play alive.
Take a look, all you need is a fingernail underneath, and Hogue continuing to get it done defensively for Thurman to get as many attempts as possible, because if, you know, she's getting the ball, she's putting it away.
And to continue that conversation on Romani Thurman, she is putting together what could be the makings of an SEC Freshman of the Year campaign, because if you take a look at Thurman's numbers and compare them to Kentucky's outside Brooklyn DeLay, who took home the honor last year, DeLay had 20 matches in which she had 10 kills or more, hit 287. Meanwhile, Thurman has 15 matches this year with 10 plus kills. She's hitting 270. She also has 220 plus kills, putting together a year in which she could be considered for an SEC Player of the Year, all conference type of season, and is doing it quietly.
She really is, and you know, in true Arkansas fashion, she's not the tallest player in the whole world, but she plays like she is. She's 5'10", which, you know, maybe 10 years ago was really tall. I'm 5'10", I was, you know, super tall. But now that is not at all. You know, she's a right pin hitter, so that means she's defending the outside. She's doing a great job not only hitting, but blocking as well. So really turning into that true all-around player.
It was really funny. We talked first with Coach Reed about how the SEC has changed since she was a middle blocker at Georgia back in the early 2000s. She said she's seen more of an influx of a Big Ten style into the SEC. The taller players, 6'6", 6'7" in the middle. And we asked Coach Watson about it, as that is going to be an ace for the Razorbacks. But we asked Coach Watson about where he had seen the changes and mentioned that Coach Reed mentioned the height. And he goes, you know, you're talking to the wrong coach. He's like, I don't really care so much about height. I want volleyball players who will go up, get after it, and play clean.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway is volleyball's just been getting better and better every year. I'm sure you could say that about most sports, but I think it's been getting exponentially better as the sport has become more popular. Even in my time in Arkansas, you know, more clubs are forming. There's more girls wanting to play volleyball. There's not enough teams for how many young girls want to play volleyball, and that just speaks to, you know, everything that's going into it. Everybody's finally understanding that volleyball is a fantastic and fun sport.
Well, it's on display here at Arkansas. Their 971 season ticket holders are a 665% increase since 2020, and that just encapsulates the way that the sport is growing, as Hui put it in the back row. Plus you have the two leagues, the Pro Volleyball League and the League One Volleyball, whose inaugural season, as that's blocked back, will start next season. Hui, another kill.
Yeah, some big battles at the net. Usually pays to be tall, but as we know, Arkansas likes to play tall when they're not even that tall. And some really fun times there. Credit to both teams to staying out of the net. That's not always an easy thing to do.
7-point Arkansas lead here late in the third set. Low Jones. Back set to Palmer. Buries it in the corner. Another kill for Palmer.
Palmer was having a really nice set in that second set as she rotates out here in the third. Like to see her get going a little bit more in this third to bring Alabama back.
Kaylee Palmer,
in contention.
The sophomore from Wapakoneta, Ohio, still working her way back into form. Had over 100 kills in her freshman season last year. Is Hui already over 100 this year. Gonna have to play it. Soft block. Towns, modified slide, still gets the kill. How impressive was that?
Really impressive. Nice job all around. So that pass was about 12 feet off the net. That typically means the middle is not even going to be an option, especially on the slide. But Keyshaw getting it done, delivering a great set, and really credit to Towns sticking with it as well. You know, you can take, kind of have to take some plays off as a middle blocker, like I talk about. It's so difficult, but she doesn't, and she's up and available.
Hogue tracks it down, leaves it for Hui. Off the hand, Arkansas to 20.
Nice big swing from Hui. You talk about you want to jump high and hit hard, and she does just that, hitting those deep corners. Again, we talk about, you know, anybody can really hit at 10-foot line, but who can find those deep corners to get those kills?
Alabama taking another timeout. Arkansas up by 6, and there's some stiff competition coming up left on Arkansas' schedule.
It really is. I mean, obviously, Texas is coming up. That is going to be a fun one for everyone to watch. It feels like everything is going to be stiff competition when it comes to the SEC.
Hannah Hogue had a little something to say about the Texas Longhorns. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I think it's good for our conference that those two teams are coming in, and for us, as regards to like they're national champions, we're just going to go and play the best kind of volleyball we can play, and I think it's an awesome environment to play in, a good challenge for our team, and that'll really show us where we're at, and I think it'll be fun.
That's the right attitude to have if you're going to face the two-time defending national champions. To be the best, you have to beat the best. Arkansas will get that opportunity coming up on Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central on the SEC Network Plus. Now, Texas does lead the all-time series 2-0, but the last time was 24 years ago, all the way back in November of 2000. Texas racked up 102 kills. That is a number that still stands as second most in program history. I'm going to make a bold take and say that Arkansas is a much better volleyball program than they were back in the year 2000.
I think that's pretty fair to say. We don't even need to watch the game and can say that with confidence.
Well, Texas bringing in that pair of transfers from Kentucky, Maddie Skinner and Reagan Rutherford. The Longhorns coming to the hill, that new SEC style with the addition of Oklahoma as well. It doesn't matter who's on the other side of the net. Arkansas's like, you know what, we're just going to block it.
I mean, you're right. That's 9 blocks already, and we're not done with the third set. Usually, you know, 2.5 blocks per set is pretty darn good, and Arkansas well above that this afternoon.
21-14, Hui. Key shot getting low. Thompson tried to throw it down. Attack error. Everything going the way of the Razorbacks right now.
Really is, and it all starts with that serve. Hui's putting a lot of pressure on Alabama right now. It's not giving a whole lot of options for Keyshaw. She only has 1 or 2 options, and that's not the best thing in the world, especially when she's in the front row. So she doesn't have a right side to default to. It's always defaulting to that outside pin.
Tight to the net. Keyshaw tried to put it over. Attack error on Arkansas gives the point back to Alabama.
This is one of those pivotal times for Alabama. Really need to take advantage of that net violation from Arkansas to try to get back in it.
We talk about a short memory, but if you're Alabama, you want to remember set 2 and the fact that you had a 7-point advantage and take that to remember that they're not out of this just yet. Hogue back out to Madkin. Well, with Anaya Madkin hitting like that, it's going to make a tied comeback very difficult.
Really is, especially when Arkansas is in system. As we take another look, both blockers were a little bit too late, which just makes it way too easy for Madkin if she doesn't have some big hands up there.
14 kills for Anaya Madkin. She has been in double digits in every SEC match this year. Keshak back out to AG. Gets the hands. So AG now with 9 kills.
Tell that AG's been going after those high hands all afternoon. The last couple, it feels like she just missed, but now finding those high hands, I'm sure she's going to want to try to continue that streak.
Towns to serve. Hogue, set her dump, match point Hogs.
Oh man, that's gotta feel really tough. I feel like everyone and their mom knew that Hogue was going to dump that one, but good, still a good heads up play because Towns, who was serving, was in that right back position. Again, she's a middle blocker, not somebody that typically plays defense, so good heads up play from Hogue, recognizing she's there.
Alabama in system, they go to AG. Madkin. Point, Arkansas on the touch. The call was late, the result the same. The Razorbacks sweep Alabama for their 10th consecutive victory over the Tide.
And what better way to end it than with Madkin tallying her 15th kill with only 3 errors, hitting 308. We talked about her in the open. We're going to talk about her now because she just had such another fantastic match.
Madkin finishing it with the touch at the net. Madkin with 15 kills. Romani Thurman adding 11 and Olivia Hui with 10. Our Lexi Cox is down in the middle of the court, and she has Romani Thurman coming off the 3-set victory.
Yeah, Romani, amazing job tonight, both offensively and defensively. What does it feel for you to have been given the chance to play all 6 rotations?
It feels great. I mean, it's something I've been working for a long time, and just for Coach Jason to have the confidence in me to do that means a lot.
How are you going to take that confidence with the team into Texas next week?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to go in there and give it all we have. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I love how the entire team calls him Jason. He's not Coach Watson, he's Jason, but that is the vibe of this Razorbacks team. And with the win, they improve to 14-2 overall, 4-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, Alabama falls to 9-7 overall, 1-4 in the SEC. So for Caitlin Vogrant and Lexi Cox, I'm Dorian Kraft saying so long from Barnhill Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the match final is Arkansas 3, Alabama 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.